All right, this is Jose Quesada for Data Science Retreat. Today I'm going to talk to you about different ways to finance DSR. So DSR, it's an expensive course. It's taught by people who are practitioners who are in the industry, and it has multiple teachers, has many advantages. You have a very high-touch one-on-one environment where you learn from people who are respected in their industries and so on. But there are now solutions for those of you who cannot pay 12.5k euro, right? So let me go through them just right now as they arrived. So the first one is the income share agreement. That's also called ISA. So this is a concept that is interesting in many ways. It's not a bank loan, and it's actually much, much better than a bank loan. You may want to go to another video that I did about this. It's on the website under the financing section. So it's designed so that there is less risk for you to take it. So for starters, there is downside protection. So if you cannot get a job, you don't pay anything back. So imagine that now, as the world is developing in strange ways, right? Imagine that you cannot get a job, even if you have really good skills in machine learning, data science. It's hard to imagine because probably many other people will have much more difficulty than you. But what if you cannot get a job? Or maybe you have a family member that gets sick, you have to take care of them. This is designed so that you don't lose the advantages that you have if something really bad happens to you. And you can get it from, okay, the people who are using this instrument, they are called Shansen, and they want to make sure that they can get the money back from you in every possible circumstances, right? So they have to limit themselves to only working with people who are from the West. I want to do like air quotes for this because the West is kind of a very abstract concept. What they mean is mostly Europe, North America, like United States, Canada, probably UK, Australia, New Zealand. It's the parts of the world where it's pretty easy to track you down. That's probably what they care about, right? So those are the advantages of the ISA. What are the disadvantages? Well, you have to pay it back. And of course you have to pay it back, right? This may sound kind of really strange to say, but you will see why I make this point. And there's a principal and there's an interest as well that you have to eventually pay. The good news is that it's tax deductible, and if you do it correctly, it's pretty good as an offer for somebody who can do all the steps to get it back from the taxes that you would otherwise pay. And remember, in Germany, taxes are pretty high, so this is a very good thing. Well, another negative is that you are out of luck if you are not from the West. So if you are in India, if you are in China, if you are in Russia, probably not going to happen. So this is something that we wish we could solve, but it's not something that we can do anything about, right? Okay, so then let's go through another alternative that just arrived a while ago. You can get a voucher from the unemployment office in Germany. So that is as good as it sounds. The government in Germany decided that it's worth it for them to pay for your education so that you can get a job faster rather than spending more time unemployed getting benefits from the government. I think this is actually a great idea, and the unemployment offices realized that they probably don't have the incentives to find people jobs faster than other entities like courses like ours, DSR, because, well, we are very aligned with the students. If they don't get a job, we have a problem, and that incentivizes us to do everything right so that people have the skills and have the access to the market so that people get jobs, right? That is not necessarily the case for somebody who is an employee of the government who doesn't have necessarily an incentive to place people in jobs, right? So I think this is a really good decision by this government. So I'm very happy that this happened. So what are the pros? The pros is that you get a 12.5K course for free. So it doesn't get any better than that. So you don't have to pay it back. This is why I mentioned here, you have to pay it back. Here, you don't have to pay it back, which is pretty amazing, right? Okay, so what else is not so good? Well, you need to be German or have worked in Germany for a long time to be eligible for this, right? And it makes a lot of sense. You must have paid taxes, so you actually contributed to this system, so that you actually get it back. You get it as education when you need it, when you are out of a job. So imagine that you are an engineer in a company that is not doing very well after Corona, for example, an aeronautics company. Then you need to do a career switch, and this is the perfect opportunity for you. Or you are an academic and you can see that you're not going to become a professor. This is a perfect opportunity for you, and the government will pay so that you are not unemployed for long, which is really a good idea. So second downside, it takes serious effort to get it. So you probably have to go to the unemployment office, and this being Germany, you have to probably fill enough paperwork to sink a ship. But that's the way people operate here, and it's working. So let's not touch it. You must have that mentality that if you really want this, you need to move fast and you need to do everything by the book. And if you do everything by the book, you will get it. But you cannot be lazy and fill forms halfway through and so on. You may not qualify. So even though you say, well, I've paid taxes in this country or in German, I think I have everything that I need, there might be something in you that makes you not qualify. And you have to clarify that with the unemployment office advisor. And the last thing, which could be important, is that you will have to convince this unemployment office advisor that it is beneficial for you to do this course, DSR, and not some other course that may be cheaper. And well, it's a difficult thing, let me tell you, after being here for long enough, that it's a very difficult thing to convince a bureaucrat or anybody really that there is value in studying AI. So other things are easier in this culture. So you can convince a person that you are going to study mechanical engineering. That sounds very reasonable. AI is like, what is AI? This is something that is deeply not understood here. It feels totally alien in the culture, and it may be a hard job for you to convince an advisor in the Arbeitsamt, the unemployment office, that you need to study AI to get a job. It may be new, at least new to them. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you, and I hope you take advantage of this opportunity. It's really, really good news.